I was a restless 18-year-old, and I had no college ambitions. So many of my peers at that group, that time in history, really didn't. And that seemed like an adventure that I wanted to get myself involved in. There's things I could do in the military you can't do in the private sector. So that was an appeal also. So, and I had friends in the neighborhood that were also enlisting at the time. So we all were facing a draft. We had all registered for the draft. So it was only a question of time whether you do it at your speed or you do it at the government's speed. So we did it at our own speed. But loyalty and it was a very big part of the decision. We were on an operation called Operation Junction City. It was one of the first parachute jump that was done since the Korean War. And as we had a battalion I was in was the 4th Battalion, and we had 2 other battalions that were part of that operation. And the operation had lasted up to, I think it was almost 80 days. I didn't see it to the end because I was wounded on the 25th of March. And we were chasing a North Vietnamese division out of the area, and we were trying to encompass them so we could basically destroy them. But part of the goal was to eliminate all the food and weapon caches that were in the area that were supplying the Viet Cong, which of course there's 2 different forces that work here. The North Vietnamese Army is a professional army, and the Viet Cong are the local insurgents that needed supply and needed some training, but they were not as formidable as the North Vietnamese Army was. So as the North Vietnamese Army retreated, and we tried to stop them, and we were taking separate fights here and there. And one of the days was my turn, basically, and we walked into an ambush, and it resulted in many casualties, and I was one of them. I got wounded with a anti-personnel mine, sort of like our equivalent to a claymore mine. And I got hit in the left side of the head and left some shrapnel, and I got medevaced out of the combat zone. That was the extent of my injury. I spent 2 weeks in Long Binh Hospital where they performed some surgery. And when I was reassigned back to my unit, my first sergeant wanted to make sure I was still 100%, so he sent me on R&R to Hawaii for a week. And then I came back and I rejoined the unit, and served out the rest of my tour in Vietnam with the unit. It was exploded by the op force on our platoon. One of the fellows got shot in the mouth. I got hit in the head. Several other people got wounded. It was a formidable sized ambush. It was not just it was well planned, and as much as we knew how to deal with these things, you are in a jungle environment, and sometimes you can't see the guy in front of you. And in a case like this, when you come out from a very thick area of the jungle, and all of a sudden you're in a clearing, before you realize it, you're a target. And it's too late at that point because everybody's exposed. And that's exactly, so that was well planned at that rate. So first of all, I think there should be some kind of national service, not necessarily targeted towards the military, but there should be some kind of a national service that should last for perhaps 2 years, when you're 18 years old until you're about 20 or thereabouts, and that should give people free college, and I think that should be the paycheck, enough to sustain you while you're doing your 2 years national service. When you come out, and get a college of your choice or whatever you qualify for. And I think if people look at that today, they're going to have skin in the game, just like I did, and the way I felt, and so many of the others that I have talked to over the years feel. Well, we paid our dues. We when I came back from Vietnam, most people didn't even want to let the community know they had been there, because there was such animosity towards servicemen at that time. You didn't even wear your uniform. It was just, So today, I think by the organizations that I belong to and other organizations, they take the veterans that are coming back under their wing and make sure they get the recognition for the service they had and get any benefits that they have earned and make sure that they get it.